Hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo of the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we're about to get started here with Open Mic Live. But first, as always, a word from our sponsors.
At InDigital, we know the public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESINet goes beyond industry standards, not only I3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Yo, what is going on? This is Ricardo of the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are about to get started here with Open Mic Live, and it is February 25th, 2023. Dude, where the hell did this month go? Now, here's something cool. I've got all of you here, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and right over here, for the first time ever, usually, it's been Instagram, right? I've had Instagram. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch every other week. And this week is like leading up to today. I ended up hitting those 1,000 followers on TikTok. So thank you, all of you, for following and just liking, reacting, everything. And so today, for this Open Mic Live, I've got folks over here on TikTok for the first time, and we're doing Open Mic Live. This live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital, a leader in next-gen core services, and a big shout out to patrons of the podcast as well as Facebook subscribers. As always, I wouldn't be able to do everything that I do if it wasn't for all of you. So thank you so very much. I appreciate it more than you know. And there's so much stuff that's going on. A lot of different things. But first, as always, as we always do for Open Mic Live, we check in with each other. So I want to know, how are you doing? How are you feeling? For everybody who's watching here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and especially all of you who are here on TikTok, how are you doing? How's it going? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty and 10 being awesome, how are you feeling? What is your number? Because that's what we do every week. We check in with each other and see what the number is. We see where you're at. And if it's a 5 or lower, we try to get that number up through the discussion and everything that we have that's going on. And even if it doesn't move up a number, even if it stays the same, as long as you had fun, again, we're here together. So right here on TikTok, we got an 8. All right, awesome. I'm coming in at about an 8 or 9 as well. So that is excellent. And also roll call. Where are you watching from? Okay, roll call. And if it's your first time here at Open Mic Live, please put that in here as well, because I always like to know, one, of course, roll call, but also where it is that you're watching from. So I'll be looking over here on TikTok to see those who are jumping in, see what your number is, and roll call where you're watching from. So I posted episode 483. Also, 484 is going to be coming up here for subscribers very soon. And over here, first time, Syracuse, New York. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. So happy to have you here on Open Mic Live with me. And 484 is going to be going out for subscribers here pretty soon. I have to go in, edit the episode, and then put the teaser out and everything for everyone. And it is going to be good. Kimberly, hey, Kimmy, what is going on? Coming in over here out of Texas. What is your number? How are you feeling? And also, in the bottom left-hand corner, at least over here on the main screen, we've got my links, so my bio page. So if you ever need to find any of that information, right there, right in that link, that'll take you to everything. And over here on TikTok as well, link is in the bio. I know it's like very cliche to say that because everybody says it, but it's true. The link is in the bio, and you'll find all of the information there. And I see Graceless over here shared the live. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Please do so. Please share and throw some of those reactions out there, because not only on the platforms over here, but on this platform, it ends up sending it out to more people. More people see it. We can have more jump on, and we can have more of a discussion. Shar, what is going on? Woot woot, bring on the open mic shenanigans. Tuning in from Alberta, out of Canada. Yeah. Welcome. So good to have you back here. And we got some likes jumping in over here on TikTok. Very nice. I like that. I love seeing those hearts going up there. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So we also had round 37 just a few days ago, round 37 with Angela Johnson, who's a former dispatch supervisor, but is now currently a licensed professional counselor. And we talked about the differences between compassion fatigue as well as PTSD, but also those top 5 of building dispatch resilience. It was an excellent round, and I thank all of you for being part of that. It was so good. I appreciate it more than you know. And it's up there for everyone to watch. And over here on TikTok, I'm going to take some snippets out of that round, and I'm going to post them as well. So make sure to look out for that. Manny, what is going on, brother? We got Manny jumping in here. Yeah, out of Washington State. Howdy. Who? I like it. Sending you lots of love from Seattle, brother. Right back at you, my friend. Dude, I need to get back over there so that we can hang out, because we didn't get a chance when I was in Anaheim, and we need to hang out, dude. Yes. So we had a good round, as I said, and I also recently posted a reel, a TikTok, a YouTube short, and it was my 3 pieces of advice that I would give myself if I was starting dispatch today. And I just want to go over those really quick. And Graceless here says, what platforms are you using? So currently right now, obviously we're here on TikTok, but also Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And to stream to all those 3, the other 3, I'm using a platform called StreamYard. So it's all going out at once, but I've got my phone here, and then I've got a camera over here that I'm doing this. So my 3 pieces of advice that I would give myself is to, would be to get into yoga a lot sooner. I shit you not, that helped me so much. But what did it take? 1, it took me learning the hard way. And so it was just the last year and a half that I got into it. I wish I would have done it a lot sooner. I would have felt a hell of a lot better, that's for sure, because we sit for how many hours? Many, many hours. I work 12 hours. Those are my shifts for 12 hours. However, somebody calls in, very easy for it to slip into a 16-hour shift, right? But also sometimes 18. That was the longest shift that I ever worked, was an 18-hour shift, and it was on Christmas Eve, which sucked. However, the good thing was that it was double time and a half. But I would have rather been home with my family than getting double time and a half. That's good money, yes, but damn it, that was hard. But if I had been doing yoga, I don't know, maybe it would have been okay, you know? Anyway, the other thing, meditation and breathing techniques. Another thing that definitely helped me, but also it was only the last year and a half that I was in dispatch that I was doing that. But again, it helped me a lot, especially during hard calls. During hard calls, I was practicing enough and no, no, don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. I wasn't, like, meditating and, dozing off or anything like that during phone calls. That's not what I'm saying here. That's not what was happening. The breathing techniques the breathing techniques during the time when I would be taking a hard call, just listening, typing, just being completely focused on everything that's going on, but breathing, practicing those breathing techniques kept me super calm, but also kept me clear-headed. And not only was I mean, I was able to keep callers calm anyway, but when you're talking to someone on the phone, when they're listening to you, and your voice goes up higher or something changes, you know that caller, refreak. That might happen. For those of you who are EMD certified who know what that is, they might freak out or whatever. So, it kept my voice, just straight up, man, and they were calm. Those on the radio were calm, It worked. But then also after a hard call, if I had a if I had that moment, I was able to continue those breathing techniques to just kind of recenter myself, which is weird to think because in the beginning of dispatch, I would have never thought meditation, yoga, all of that shit would do anything. Looking over here in the comments, um, oh, hold on. Kimmy says, "Just working, yay, miss you. Right back at you." And I hope to see you at the conference because I'm gonna be in Texas. And also over here in on TikTok, if any of you are gonna be at the Texas conference, Galveston, I'm the keynote speaker. I'm gonna be doing Imagine Listening there. I'm gonna be recording episodes of the podcast. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be good. So I miss you too. And see, Manny, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes. I would totally do yoga, but the scotch kept falling out of my glass while doing back bends. Oh, I love that. Very nice. There is beer yoga, right? There is yoga that you can do with alcohol that I've seen. I've never done it, but I've watched. I think there was actually oh, Graceless says hopping over to FB. Yes, go ahead. Jump over there. So it's just go on Facebook Within the Trenches podcast. You can look it up that way, and it's live right there now. So I think it was damn, what's that show called? Um Something Race. It was on CBS. I forget what it was called. The Great Race, something race. Anyway, um I'm pretty sure they did that on there. One of the challenges that they had to do was like beer yoga, and they had to get through the poses while drinking, which was hilarious to watch. So it was something else. Amazing Race. There you go. Why couldn't I think of that? Good lord. I haven't had a drink in 4.5 years, so I'm drinking kombucha. Maybe that's what it is. The kombucha is what's getting me right now. Good lord, man. Ugh. Let's see, Kimmy over here says, "I don't bend like that anymore." But yes, the breathing technique is amazing. Dude, I didn't think I'd be able to do, a lot of the poses, but the more you practice, the more you stretch, the more those poses become a lot easier. The other thing too, though, is you will definitely feel when you haven't done yoga in a while. Believe me, because the last few weeks I have been in this fucking room creating content, editing episodes, getting stuff ready. Hey, what's up, bro? What's going on? You're on. You're here. Yes. Um, I've been doing all kinds of shit, but I've been sitting here. I've been getting up because my table moves up and down like I'm sitting in dispatch at a damn console. But what didn't miss it this time? Yeah, dude. So when I went to do yoga the other day, I was like doing a pose and stretching one of my legs. Oh my god, I thought I was gonna die. I was all I could think was, "Hell no." Like, I need to do this every single day. I try to do it, um, try to, as I said, it's been a couple weeks and I recently did it and I was dying. But what I've been trying to do is keep up with it to do it at night before I go to sleep. And in the morning, and then right before I go to or not right before I go to sleep, but close to when I go to sleep. And it has actually been really good. I've been able to sleep a lot better. I wake up feeling more rested. But also, I mean, I worked midnight shifts all the time when I was in dispatch. So I don't know about all of you who are watching here or all of you who are watching here on TikTok, but and also I've been out of dispatch now for almost 10 years. However, shit doesn't go away, man. It does not go away. What I mean by that is the fact that I would stay up because I mean, we're working all night, right? Would have to work all night. So on my days off, like nothing changed. And now being out of dispatch all this time, it's still the same. I'm still a night owl. That shit doesn't change. You see that in back of well, TikTok here, you can't see it, but in back of me on this main screen here is my screen printing press, and I'll sometimes be up late just, like, making T-shirts because I mean, I love it. I do love it. For me, it's actually therapeutic, the process of designing, um, and putting a screen together and doing all of it, to me, it's therapeutic, man. I'm sure there is stuff that all of you do as well that is, therapeutic to you too. Well, I'll tell you what, when I was first learning to screen print, man, that shit was a pain in my ass. It was not fun, but I love learning new stuff. So I was in it, man. I was doing it and it was good. And oh, let me look over here on TikTok. See, I would love to be a 911 dispatcher, but I get too worried and anxious when there's emergencies. You know? Oh, another one here. Me too. That's what's holding me back from applying. You so okay, if is this is something that you would like to try to get into, there's always that worry, right? But it's like that in every profession. Now, in 911, it is a little different because there's a lot of shit you're dealing with. However, I would recommend at least doing a sit along. Go to your local dispatch center, talk to some of those people there, and see if you can come in and sit with someone to see how it is. And depending on how you feel after that, then you might know, right? There's no harm in going in and doing a sit along. However, you will know. You will definitely know. Um, we've got someone else over here saying the best advice I can give is that it goes away with time, to be honest. That's true. It does go away. There's always going to be nerves for everything. And what I mean by that as well, like I do public speaking all over the place, and I am always nervous right before I go on to speak. But as soon as I start speaking, those nerves go away. And in dispatch, from from my experience only, is what I'm saying. I had those nerves, but it does go away. That confidence builds and everything, and you are amongst friends, family. They are not going to let you drown because we are super short staffed and we want to keep you. We want to give you the tools and the resources for this amazing job, this career. Yeah, shit's hard. It's stressful, but you lean on your people, your training. You're in there working like a well oiled machine because all we have is each other. And we can do it. You can do it. But seriously, that would be my advice. If this is something you really want to do, like look up some more information, look up some resources, but also go to your local dispatch center and see if they'll allow you to do it. Say that you've been thinking about doing that and see if you can do a sit along. And anybody over here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, any other advice for those who are thinking about getting into this profession as well? What would you say to them? Like over here on TikTok, we've got people talking and everything already. So this is great. This is good stuff, man. I love it. Let's see. Are you allowed to talk about calls with coworkers after a call? Yes, of course. I will say for a long time in the beginning, when I first started, nobody really talked about it because you just moved to the next call and you just kept going. But also there was that stigma where if you were talking or you were looking for help or whatever, it was a sign of weakness, but it's not. It is not a sign of weakness. And I say this from experience because that's one of the dispatchers or the type of dispatcher that I was afraid that people were going to look at me and think, man, Ricardo can't hack it. He cannot hack it. But holding those calls in was not the right thing to do. And I know that now. And even then when I started finally talking about it. And guess what happened? When I started talking about it, when I stopped giving a shit what people might think, because I chose me and I chose that I wanted to be better and feel better, other people started talking too, which was what was the best part. And we are continuing to talk. So for you over here asking, are you allowed to talk about calls with coworkers after a call? Hell yes. Now, you need to make sure though that when you're talking to people that they are able to talk as well because you never know. There someone might be going through something. However, that's why we communicate with each other. Or at least do our best to communicate with each other. So, yes, definitely. Looking back over here on StreamYard, we were asked to attend the conference, but I don't know what the final answer was from our brass. I'll check and see what the verdict is. And and only if you wear a cowboy hat. You know what, Kimmy? You bring me a cowboy hat and I will wear that shit. And we will rock it out. And if you need me to speak to Erica, not that I have any pull or anything at your center, but I'll say Kimmy needs to be here. Also, we need to record that episode. So there you go, right there. So I gotta be there. I gotta record with Ricardo. That's how we do it. That's how we can do it there. Any other questions over here on TikTok as well? Please make sure 'cause that's what this is all about. This is what open mic is about, discussion, but also we're going to be sharing some funny stories, but also some strange sightings, like some calls that people have sent in or have gone out on. Let's see. Let me look back over here. Kimmy says definitely do a sit along, a ride along, listen to the scanner. But I will say, if it's in your heart, then do it. So there you go. If it is in your heart, then do it. But she also says, however, definitely research your agencies before applying. A lot looks good from the outside, but once you're in, it's a whole different story. So that's great advice right there. Thank you. That is awesome. So let me see over here. So I'm looking at my notes because so one of the stories that I shared last week And again, I uploaded this reel, and over here as well. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Let's see. I don't disagree with that, but I want to add one thing. Make sure you don't fold under pressure. See, there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things that go into it, and also with continued training and the way things go in the center, the way Kimmy says, like, follow your heart. Because if it does turn out that you're not feeling it, you're gonna know. Okay. And it's better to go than to stay and not enjoy it. So definitely, again, do your research. Um, let's see. So yeah, I know what you mean. I've experienced that a few times in different jobs. There you go. Okay, awesome. Um, so again, I posted a TikTok earlier today, and I posted a reel on Facebook and Instagram, and it had to do with strange sightings. Well, Kimmy says, Erica, Ricardo has a message for you. Yes, Erica. Kimmy needs to go to the conference in Galveston. I need her there. For one, she's bringing me a cowboy hat for me to wear and for us to take pictures. And two, she's going to be on an episode with me, so I really need her there. It would be a lot better if we did this in person. Thank you, Erica. I don't know if that'll help, Kimmy, but I hope to see you there. Oh, that's great. So I posted this stuff, right? What it had to do with was up in Midland, Michigan, where I've been before. I'm originally from Southwest Michigan. Now, Midland is not Southwest Michigan, it's north. However, I've been there at their center many times, not only for training when I was in dispatch, but then when I was out of dispatch and working in the private sector of 911 for in digital, I was up there doing demos and other things for all of their folks there for Text for 911. So, what happened recently was someone called in because there was a chupacabra sighting. Now, I'm trying to remember. I remember, like, in the oh man, what was it, like the early 90s, I think. It was all like that shit was all over the news. People were calling in saying, "There's been a chupacabra sighting. There's been a chupacabra all over the place," and people are fucking freaking out because this was like some mythical creature that was going around and eating what, like goats, I think it was, right? They were eating goats or like sucking their blood out completely and just leaving them dry. And it's just the body that's left, right? Something to that effect. But I remember growing up and seeing these stories about the chupacabra. If you don't believe me, look it up. Google that shit. Chupacabra. It sounds so crazy, right? It's basically like the stories of like Nessie, right? The Loch Ness monster, which I don't think you would ever get any phone calls for that shit, right? At least not around here. Nessie is in its own spot. Okay. And what else? Sasquatch, right? Or a Yeti. Um what else was there? Like the Mothman? Like there's tons of different things. But also the freaking creature from like Jeepers Creepers. I think that was supposed to be kind of a take on like the Mothman or something, or the Jersey Devil, one of the two. Oh, Kimmy says now Erica is with us. Erica is on right now. Erica, if you're on right now, please comment. I want to see you in the comments. Ah, they are not cute. Oh, are you talking about the chupacabra? Yeah, okay. And over here on TikTok as well, for all of you here, you know what the chupacabra is, right? I'm not like talking crazy or whatever. I mean, I kind of am kind of talking crazy right now because we're talking about this creature that nobody knows whether or not it's real, right? But people were talking about it all over the place on the news. Again, look it up. You'll see. And it's okay. Yeah. So we got somebody in here saying, yes, I do know. Okay, good. Good. So up in Midland, somebody called. Someone called and said that they saw a chupacabra. And there's traffic to that as well. I mean, this was in the news. This was M Live. There it's it's out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, M Live, and they got a newspaper, news, like all kinds of news stuff. And this was in there, and they have the traffic, like Midland County Central Dispatch ended up sending them the traffic. So in that TikTok, in that reel that I posted, I added the audio in there. And and you can hear the traffic dispatch sending out saying, head out to such and such address to speak with the person's name is April. They just said the first name, the last name was taken out. That's why I said the first name right now, the first name only. And speak with April in reference to a sighting of and then it goes chupacabra. Like dispatch says it super fast, which I probably would have too. If I was the one giving it out, it'd be like, Elegant Central to all stations and units. I can't even I can't even think about uh oh. It'd be like on the east side, be en route to 123 what the fuck street. Make contact with April. Be in reference to a sighting of a chupacabra. So what happened is that the officer on the other end, he keys up and he's like, go ahead, repeat, like, go ahead with the animal. Like, what was it again? Now, what's funny though is that the captions, the automatic captions on there ended up putting in analog. It says in reference to an analog sighting, which was I had to go in there and fix it on a couple of them because I didn't notice that that's what it had said until afterwards. I was watching it back and I thought, oh damn it, now I need to go back in there and do it. I can't now; it's too late. But that's what it was, and and dispatch goes, she described it as a chupacabra, and the officer goes, 10-4, they'll be en route. And then another officer comes on after that and is like, we've been getting a lot of sightings lately or something like that, which is funny as hell because it just adds to it, right? And so they end up going out there. So this is what happens. They go out there and they talk to April. And April was on drugs. It's basically what it said on there was she was on drugs. It didn't say what drugs, but she was on drugs. And and they're like, everything is okay. We didn't find anything. But what if there was something out there? See, this is what I love about this when we're doing open mic because we can play on the scenario. What if there was something out there? Now, here's another thing. Here's another thing. You know how sometimes we have callers who are referred to as frequent flyers and they're calling about certain things. And you send somebody out there, of course, because you got to check the area at least just in case. But what if there's actually something out there and we just weren't there in time to see it or something? That's why you treat everything as priority one, right? When it comes in, no matter how outrageous it sounds, you stay professional and you do what you got to do. Now, let's just think for a moment. What if a chupacabra was out there? What if it was out there eating something and the lady's watching it and the chupacabra is looking back and is like, the fuck? I'm minding my own business, okay? I'm trying to live my own life right now. I'm trying to eat this animal. Why are you staring at me? Oh, man. What if the chupacabra was the one who called into 911 next, and was just all, "Hi, just wanted to call you really quick. I'm out here minding my own business." I don't know why I think this thing sounds like this, but I'm sorry, I just broke. But the chupacabra is all, "I'm just trying to live my own life. This lady is completely bothering me right now. I don't even know." And dispatch was like, "Wait, uh, we just got a phone call from somebody saying, are you the wait a minute, are you the chupacabra?" Yeah, yeah, no, I just, why? Is that wrong? Do you got a problem? This is so stupid. Uh, but this is what's funny too, is that we, uh, we can go through this scenario and make it fun like this, because if you're anything like me, when some of these phone calls would come in, I would play out some of the scenarios in my head like, "Damn, what if it was happening? What if this was going on? Hmm? I don't know." Oh, man. That is hilarious. Okay, let me look over here really quick at the comments. And if any of you over here on TikTok have any comments as well, please throw them in there. Any strange sightings or calls or anything like that. Or if you've ever seen something crazy, or like, did I really see that? Throw that in the comments as well, because we can discuss this shit. And again, that's what's so fun about open mic. We have this discussion, no matter how outrageous it sounds, because let me tell you, in 911, you can't make this shit up, man. You cannot make this shit up. So I want to look over here into the comments over here from Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And Char says, I swear, some people don't think before they pick up the phone and dial 911. Small town in Manitoba recently had a Burger King open. Karen called RCMP dispatch to complain the lines are too long in the drive-through. Dude. Have anybody else, have you ever gotten these calls as well? And over here on TikTok, same? Any of you? Have you gotten calls like this too, where people call in because the line is too long? See, for those for those of you who are asking about dispatch and wanting to get into it, these are some of the calls that we end up taking. Like, not every 911 call is an actual emergency. However, I will say this, even though people call in and it might not sound like an emergency, to them, that is their emergency. But damn it, the line being too long, I'm just gonna leave it there. Keystone State Chapter of Nina, hello, says, suggestion for those that decide to join our proud profession: get through the training, classroom, simulations, on the job, whatever it is. Get out on your own and don't make any career decisions. What, should I stay or should I go? Oh, for at least 4 to 6 months. Give yourself some time to become you on the floor. That is great advice right there. So for those few who are asking as well, that's good advice. Like, give yourself some time, because, and I can attest to this as well. When I was in dispatch, when I ended up moving back to Southwest Michigan, and I was part of Central Dispatch, Allegan County, the county that I grew up in, it was a completely different beast, because I went from a small police department working 8-hour shifts by myself doing all 3 disciplines to now a county central dispatch where the call volume is way higher and there are more of us on the floor at the same time, 12 hours, but I wasn't sure that I was gonna be able to do it. I mean, I remember walking in and seeing all of these fucking monitors, and the first person I see there, they're on the phone, they're typing, they're keying up on the radio, they're yelling over, and they're eating all at the same time, and I remember thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, but I was the same way. I had to give myself some time to really dial in to what this profession is. I was already in love with it, but because it was a different beast altogether, I just wasn't sure. But with everybody that I was working with and the way it all ended up turning out, I was so, so glad that I stuck it out because there definitely were times where I was not sure. But I'm so happy that I did. So that is amazing advice. Yes, give yourself some time to really dial into it. But once you've given yourself that time, you'll know. You will definitely know. Let's see. Amanda over here says, that's okay. Don't forget, no one knows what a dinosaur actually sounded like, and they still roll with it. You're right. And Kimmy says, I am totally agreeing with you. That is definitely how it would sound like. Thank you. Let's see over here. It says, I remember my daughter calling 911 because she wanted to speak to daddy. She was 3 or 4 years old. Oh, see, that's sweet. I like that. That's awesome. But I can also imagine, like, picking up the phone and being like, wait a minute, honey, wait, are you calling daddy on? Like, I can see that happening. And oh, do you have the recording for that? That would be a cool thing if you had the recording to be able to have that and go back and forth, to listen to it. But as she gets older, to be able to play it and be like, so this is something you did when you were younger, and play that and stuff. Oh, that is awesome. I like that. Let's see over here. Let's see. I got a call from a 4-year-old because their cat ran up a tree and they wanted a firefighter to come get it down. Um, oh wait, it says I don't. She is 38 now. Oh, well, either way, I mean, that's a cool memory to have to be able to bring up, especially now that she's older too. Because there's stuff that I bring up with one of my sons because he would run around dispatch and stuff, and I bring that up to him every so often, and he goes, I do remember that. He goes, I remember running around dispatch, and I remember hitting one of the consoles that was there, and I started crying, and I was like, yeah, you were crying. Whoa, what's going on, Diana? What up? Welcome to Open Mic. It's good to have you here. Um, Looking back over here, let's see. Oh, with the cat up the tree, that shit does happen. People do call. And see, here's the thing. Depending on the area, and also I am speaking only from my experience. So don't do this. But there was one time that one of the fire departments was like, nah, we're not going to go do that. But another in a different city, they're like, oh yeah, we'll go ahead and go out there. And I was like, for real? I was like, the city that's like south of you was like, nah, son, we're not going to do that. And well, I think actually it was because this person knew the people that were calling in, and it would happen often. So they're like, yeah, we'll go out there. So that does happen. And sometimes people go, sometimes they don't. So it all depends. Let me see here. Jeannie, what up, Jeannie? What's going on? Here in Kentucky Wildcat basketball country, I had a guy call 911 during March Madness complaining that the Kentucky ball game was going to be on TV at 3 p.m. and that was not a good time for him. What? There's more. Hold on. I like the emoji that you have. That's like I told him I would attempt to contact head coach John to let him know, but I wasn't gonna promise any time, change. You know, that is cool, though. That is cool that you were able to say that to that person, and I'm sure that person was satisfied, right? Maybe, kind of, 'cause, what all can you do? There's not a lot you can do. That's like, and I told this story before, but and for those of you over here in TikTok, maybe you haven't heard it at all, but, um, that was, like, one of the calls that I took once where this gentleman lived in a trailer park, okay? And it was a few miles away from the area where Allegan County had their county fair. And this was during the fair time, and they were super loud. And the guy wanted me to have an officer go out to the county fair and have them turn the sound down, the noise. And I said, "Sir, you mean the entire fair? You want them to turn the noise down at the entire fair?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, you can't do that?" And I was like, I mean, in my head, here's the thing, in my head, okay, hold on. First, I did tell him that I would send an officer out to check the area and that that officer would go out to talk to that person. Because the officer working the area did know that person because that person actually was like the property manager of the entire trailer park. So so but in my head, all I could think was seeing my deputy get out there and you like a big old knob like this and like turning down the sound. Oh man. And if I think he ended up bringing back either some corn dogs or elephant ears for us. So thank you, deputy. You know who you are. It was good. But it's like that. There's calls like that. And I just told him like, "Okay, we'll try to do it like an extra patrol and I'll have the officer contact you." He's like, "All right. Thank you very much." And that's all it took. Looking over here, let's see, our FD, we have to approve it with the BC first. Generally, they will go if they are not busy. Okay, well, that's cool. See, so it's different everywhere when there's a cat that's stuck up in a tree. Let's see, hold on. How to make dispatcher happy? Bring us snacks. Yes, bring snacks because that we love snacks and dispatch. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Char says, Amanda, as a firefighter, we have responded to the cat in the tree. Thanks for that, Hollywood. And Amanda says back, I got lucky that time because I was able to convince the kid to put a parent on the phone. And she was like, oh my gosh, the cat does that all the time. I'm sorry. I don't know why that voice came out, but that was the voice that I thought the person sounded like. Oh, jeez. Let's see, and I didn't have, to be the person dispatching one of my companies for that. That's great. Oh, man. Okay, so here's the thing. Oh, wait, Amanda says, "Think of dispatchers like nurses. We love snacks." Mhm. Baby got snacks. That's what I like. So I want to read what some of the audience. So I had posted this, right? And there were a few things as we're man, it's already going to be an hour that we've been on here. This is like only about 11, 12 minutes left. Holy it's gone fast. Okay, but I still got some more stuff to get to. So um but also thank you all of you for being here with me because this is a lot of fun. This has been a lot of fun. So audience. There were a couple things that were put out from the audience. So one person ended up putting in, I had a sighting of a drunk Sasquatch. A drunk Sasquatch. On the I don't know if it's Caddy Trail or Katy Trail, maybe Katy Trail. It's a place in Missouri, okay? Turns out So they did send somebody out there for this. Oh, hold on a minute over here in the comments. I listened back to our episode the other day. I completely forgot about the tornado siren and laughed so hard. Yes. Oh, that is awesome. That was such a good episode. We need to do another one. That was a lot of fun. Um, so again, this was a phone call that came in, and it was a sighting of a drunk Sasquatch. It was in Missouri, and the person says, turns out it was just some hairy, crazy guy. Oh, over here on TikTok, this person's saying, I'm just laughing because you're laughing. Good. Good. That's what this is about. I'm a firm believer, man, that laughing is good medicine. I love it. But can you imagine that? Can you imagine being the officer to go out there or to give that over the air? Like Elegant Central to K94, be en route to Katy Trail. Be in reference to a sighting of a intoxicated Sasquatch. Central, can you repeat what was the sighting of? Because you know whatever officer is going to go to it, that would happen. They would want you to repeat that shit so that everybody could hear it again and laugh. And and affirmative. That they advise a drunk Sasquatch. The Sasquatch is drunk. You can be en route. They have no further information. Just check the area. 10-4, I'll be en route. And then, the officer ends up getting out there. Like, Central, can you go to secondary? Go ahead. Just be advised. I believe I've found your intoxicated Sasquatch. If the caller ends up calling back, just let them know we checked the area. Everything is fine out there. They did see a Sasquatch. However, this Sasquatch is human and intoxicated and very hairy. I'll be 1024 this location. Oh man, I'm laughing so hard that my Muttley is coming out. And if you don't know who Muttley is, look up Muttley, YouTube it, because I'm sure that laugh is there. Oh my god. Woo! This is so good. Let's see. Char over here says, can you imagine being the guy that is so hairy you have been mistaken for Sasquatch? For real, right? Oh, poor dude. Okay, so let's play that out on that person's end. Oh, Kimmy says, dispatch the officer. That intoxicated Sasquatch may be my uncle. Okay, so let's go from the other side now, all right? From the drunk, hairy guy that's out there who is supposed to be Sasquatch, according to the caller. So you got the officer who's walking up, right? Like, sir? Yeah? Oh, hi, officer. How's everything going? I'm just out here, I'm camping. I'm not driving or everything is fine. I got some marshmallows. I was gonna do some s'mores. I saw somebody over there. They were calling. Was I being loud? Is it okay? And the officer the whole time is like, because if I was the officer going out there talking to this dude, I would want to laugh. And of course, if this dude's trashed and the caller thought they were Sasquatch, this person has no shirt on. It's like Bert Kreischer walking around all trashed out, yelling, I'm the machine. And and the officer is just like, "Damn, this dude is hairy, man." I was like, we've got Chewbacca out here who's trashed out. We've got Wookiees all over the place, and he's all like, "Oh man, you know that would be horrible." You know, the person would probably wake up the next morning like, "What happened? Why is my shirt off? What's with this marshmallow?" Like, did I talk to an officer last night? Like, I don't even know what's going on. Holy shit. We just went through a whole scenario right there. I love it. I I hope I'm gonna ask you right now, whatever your number was before, because we're getting into the wrap up of this here pretty soon. What is your number now? I was coming in at like an 8 or a 9. I am way above a 10 now. What is your number now? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome, what is your number? How are you feeling? And also, it has been amazing to have all of you here with me tonight to be sharing this stuff because this is a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it. So there's a question right there. Are you having fun? Because this has been fun. This has been good. So here's another call. Another person said that her and her coworker were working together one day and had a sighting of a tiger in a tree in Southwest Missouri. Wait, we've got some interesting shit going on in Missouri because both of these were out of Missouri. Okay, so again, 2 people working together in dispatch, and they took a call of a sighting of a tiger in a tree in Southwest Missouri. Deputy goes out there. Okay, here we go. Deputy gets out there, and it is a huge stuffed tiger just hanging out in the tree. So we also had a call about a monkey or 2 running loose in the same area of the stuffed tiger on a different day. Deputy gets out there, and there were actual real monkeys that were running around from the local zoo. So you see, that right there, that tells you that even though shit sounds outrageous, it could be real. So technically, there was a tiger in the tree, but it was a stuffed tiger. And monkeys, and there were monkeys. There were real monkeys that were running around. Now, in Shar, I don't know if you know about. I'm sure you know about this, and I don't remember where in Canada this was, but there's actual video as well as audio where like people were calling in because they were saying that there were elephants that were running around and other animals. And they get out there, and sure as shit, there are animals. There was an elephant running around, and I'm pretty sure on YouTube, so you can look this up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure in the video, excuse me, they show the elephant running around, and you see like an officer and like handlers out there like trying to trying to get it like maneuver it somewhere else. Again, that's why you treat these calls like priority 1 shit. That even though it sounds outrageous, that you're like, okay, an elephant running around in the street? No. And then you send someone out, and the officer's like, Central, can you see if you can find a phone number for whoever's. Oh, it was a local. That's what it was. It wasn't the zoo. It was the circus. Somewhere in Canada, there was a circus that came into town, and their animals got loose. That's what it was. It was a circus. And the officer keys up and is like, Central, there are elephants that are running around right now. We need some assistance. Oh, my mom is in the audience. Hi, Mom. Hello. How are you doing? Have you been listening the whole time? Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's see over here. Diana says, "I think there was a legit pet tiger loose in Houston a year or 2 ago. Wild. Imagine being that cop." Dude, I cannot imagine. Okay, 1, someone calling, right? Again, someone calls, you put it out there, and you're like, "Is this real? Like, what if there is a tiger running around there?" And then the officer gets out there and is like, "Oh, um, there is a tiger out here, and things aren't great." Oh my god, that was horrible. That was a dad joke. My bad. That was some BS. Kimmy over here says, "Don't mind us. We're just looking for a guy named Noah who has a huge boat." Because of the animals all getting out. Oh man. Oh, there you go. Shar says it was in Newfoundland. Yes, there you go. It happened. Again, look it up on YouTube. It's a crazy video, man. And the one that I saw, it actually had like the audio traffic, but also had the video for it as well. And that was just super interesting to be able to see that. But yeah, oh my god, my mom says, "Hola." Yes, meaning yes, she's been in the audience over here on Facebook the whole time. Now I'm trying to remember all the shit or all the stuff that I said. I'm 41 years old. I am a grown ass man. However, I respect my mom. I really do. Um, we have a lot of fun together. I'm sure you guys have watched some of the stuff the video that I put out there with my mom and the banana phone and everything. Oh, over here. So I'm watching over so I'm switching over to a call taker and I've been dispatching EMTs, paramedics, fire, etc. Not sure what I'm gonna hear first. Dude, it's gonna be good. You're gonna be fine. Um, it's gonna be awesome. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff that you're gonna end up hearing that you're gonna think, is this real life? Is this really going on? And yes, it is real life. And it is really going on because in 911, you can't make this shit up, man. And when you are taking calls and you hear stuff like that, you're like, like, is this for real, man? Like, no way. Like, I would have never thought. I would have never thought. But you've got this. It's going to be good. You're going to be excellent. Kimmy saying hi to my mama. And Shar says it was 2 camels and an elephant. So there you go. Again, look it up on YouTube, man, and you'll see it. And you'll see them running around trying to wrangle them, and everyone's like, ah, ah, like this is crazy. I would have thought the same thing. Okay. I would have thought the same thing. So as we go into the wrap up of this broadcast, I want to share something really quick. I want to share one of my strange calls. Okay. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I mentioned it a long time ago. And I think I only mentioned it once. So it's in the evening. I'm on phones. And I take a phone call from a nurse from the local hospital. And she says, "I really need you to send an officer over here because I've got 2 gentlemen who walked in and there's something wrong with them. We're trying to get them checked out right now. Um, but they keep saying, one, that they're sick and they're not sure what's wrong, but also that they were in an area where there was like some testing or something that was going on, and they ended up leaving there, and they're here with us now. And we send an officer out there, and we end up sending officers and other people out to this area where they were at. because this shit was strange. It was almost like zombie-esque type shit. And they end up going out to check this place out where they were at, and things went silent, which was creepy as hell. And then they come back on and they say, everything is fine out here. We did find a spot that looked like had been cleaned up recently, and like the health department was called out and everything. And then those two people that had showed up at the hospital just like disappeared. And it was one of the creepiest things. So here's another thing. Years later, I tried to find out more information about that, and it was like it was wiped from existence. Like you can't find the information on it. And it made me wonder, what exactly happened? Because it seemed like it was like something out of some zombie apocalypse movie. Like that's what would start all of it. So, 2012, I end up writing a story about this, about a zombie apocalypse, about a zombie outbreak that started with this call. And what I ended up doing was turning it into a blog where I called it Notes from the Living. And I wrote the beginning of this story, again, coming out of dispatch. And what I had people do was I said to them, if you were in a zombie apocalypse and you were separated from your friends or your family, and you had to leave them a note if they came to find you, what would you write? What would you say? And people jumped on and they were sharing what notes that they would leave for their loved ones in different blog posts. And I was telling my kids about this, and they were saying, you should do this again. You should redo this, because I had the whole introduction story written. I had music to it and everything, and people were writing different things. So like, for example, in the story, I was headed back to dispatch and I had left a note to my family saying, I made it this far. I'm trying to make it back to you. And what I was going to do at that time was I was going to turn it into like a geocache type thing where people could get the coordinates, find this geocache, but what it would be a note that somebody else left, and just continue doing it. But it was this zombie apocalypse that started out of dispatch, public safety style. Again, I called it Notes from the Living. But it was all based off of this real call. And it was one of the craziest, most strangest things. It was pretty close to the ghost car. And I think I saw a notification where someone ended up saying that, like their courthouse or jail or something like that was haunted. And oh wait, over here, Radio Rich says, "Sorry, I missed the podcast. Did you guys talk about funny open mic moments?" Yes, we were talking about open mic stuff, but also running scenarios with a bunch of different like strange phone calls, like strange sightings. And this was one of them. Now, here's one last thing. Unsolved Mysteries. How many of you watched Unsolved Mysteries in the beginning? The 90s. Amazing show, right? Well, they revamped it, right? They redid it. They rebooted it on Netflix. And man, is it awesome. But this most recent season, the first episode was about UFOs in Ottawa County. This is in Michigan. In all that area there. Excuse me. And Allegan County, where I grew up in, and also the county that I worked in, we saw that shit too. It was just south of Ottawa. So watching that episode was crazy because we saw what they're talking about in there. And listening to that radio traffic, man, I don't know if those folks are still around. I know one of them is for sure, but I would love to get them on the podcast to talk about that because that's some crazy shit too. But my brother and I, and my mom, who's here in the comments as well, we remember seeing those lights that they're talking about. It's crazy and strange. So who knows? Maybe I will revamp the notes for the living because back then, even though it was 2012, the technology was nothing like it is today, which is why it was simply done on a blog. We'll see what happens. And Kimmy says, me and Rescue 911. I was a big Rescue 911 fan as well. So I want to thank all of you for being here with me tonight. And again, I hope your numbers went up. And I hope that you had fun here with me. Because this is what open mic is all about. We check in with each other. We forget about the bullshit that's going on in the world for an hour or so, and we just enjoy each other's company with either funny 911 stories or even personal stories that are funny. And I've got a lot of them. So thank you all so very much. We're going to go into the wrap up of this. This live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital Elite Next Gen Core Services, and a big shout out to subscribers of the podcast, whether it be on Facebook or Patreon. And if you want to become a patron of the podcast, you can check us out, and that is patreon.com/WTT podcast. But also, if you want to be a subscriber off of Facebook, that is facebook.com/within the trenches podcast/support. And then here on TikTok, we've got subscriptions that have been added as well. And I'm trying to figure out how all of that works so that we can get that going. But if you want to be a patron or a subscriber in general for bonus content, swag, t-shirts, discounts to the store, all of that good stuff, make sure to go there, check it out. For TikTok over here, the link is in the bio, and you can see all of the information that's right off of that. If you have any comments, questions, or you ever want to be a guest on the flagship show, you can email us, and that's going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that is wttpodcast@gmail.com. And quickly, for my homeboy, James Lockerbie, he is going to be at 911 Goes to Washington next week. This is a conference that's put on by NENA, the National Emergency Number Association, and he has been in contact with the office for Congresswoman Norma Torres, and they are going to try to take a photo. I'm going to get more information from him to be able to post it around the time that this is going on. So if you're going to be there, try to make it in there to get that photo with them. I wish I could be there, but I'm not going to be able to be there. But please, look out for it. I'm going to post it up as soon as he can get me some more information. And Shar put the link in there. That's awesome. I'm going to end up sharing that as well. Kimmy says, have a wonderful night. Everyone stay safe. Thank you, Ricardo. And thank you. And I hope to see you at the conference because it's going to be good. My mom says, you are awesome people. Have a blessed night. Thank you for your amazing job. Yes. Thank you so very much. All of you here, especially all of you here as well. Thank you for joining me. And, this can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, as well as TikTok. And for the flagship show, I'll get to that part here in a minute. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can. That is @91 Podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches Podcast. Then here on TikTok, please follow me up there. It is @91 Podcast there as well. And then Instagram is @WTT Podcast. But for the flagship show, if you want to listen, you can listen 24/7, and that is on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone, and we will see you all in the next one.